It's a time. Massive package from China time, so let's go. The Retro shooter is actually my main light gun setup that I'm using for a long time now. However, I did an unboxing with the version number 2 where they changed all kinds of small things. Small things that make sometimes a big difference. But what you see over here is actually everything that we're going to be getting into the package itself. So we're going to be having the power supply, the 2 light guns. We also have the combination of gray and black, but I love these, let's say, old school colors. That reminds me of the Namco light guns. And of course we're going to be having the brand new system. But let's talk about this. So in the unboxing I actually did some quick gameplays about the overall experience of the games itself. So for the people who have no idea what's going on, let's say when it comes to the really first generation of Retro shooter, normally had all kinds of different kind of emulator options, but we don't have that with this brand new box now. So what we're getting are custom games that have been made by 3E Game itself. Where I must say that they are improving the overall selection when it comes to the overall gameplay. I'm just going to be honest, these are actually games that are actually plug and play, work quite well with the Reapers, but the overall gameplay, I'm personally getting really bored with these games because the overall, let's say, replayability, they're just super basic. They aren't doing their best when it comes to the games itself, but I think if you're going to be buying this kit alone for the games that comes on this box, you will be disappointed. With a simple reason, I think most, or at least I really love to play the old school games, where I don't hate new stuff coming out. I think when it comes to the games itself and you're going to be spending that amount of money, I think it's going to be in a situation where you're going to be very fastly, quickly bored with the overall configuration of the games itself. But that brings me back to the overall configuration of what can you actually do. So we do have some really cool options when it comes for improving the overall experience of the brand new Reapers. But I've been using the V1 Reapers for a very long time now, and I can tell you I really enjoy myself. The recoil and the overall compatibility with some of, let's say, the things we're going to be talking about today are going to be so much different than the original box. So we're going to be looking at, let's say, the configuration. They did some adjustment. I can particularly see it over here at the right. I don't want to go in deep about it. You can actually see that there are some, of course, minor adjustments over here, having different screw holes and everything. The mold has been adjusted here and there, I'm guessing. So they're doing a lot of tweaking and improving when it comes to, let's say, the V2. So when it comes to the noise of the recoil, I did notice this thing makes less sound than the original version number 1, but I think it's absolutely great. But I did ask him, is this an upgrade or is it something of an overall situation? He said, it is possible if you're going to be buying 2 different light guns with the V2, they will sound differently. So take that one in consideration. So beside that, all the functionality are the same, beside having an extra button over here if you want to use this left-handed. I think it's absolutely great. So when it comes to the overall configuration, they are doing their best to actually improve it. But let's talk about what you can do if you want to have the full best experience with the Reaper itself. If you want to have the ultimate experience with the Reaper and you don't want to use the white original box, the Retro Beast is absolutely one of the ways to go to. So where the Retro Beast 24TB is completely overkill for most people, we're also going to be having over here the 2TB SSD plug and play, and then of course we're having a little bit more deluxe that's going to be in 4TB. My sticker's getting loose, but it's actually the idea that we're having I want to say actually plug and play, because you still need to do a little bit of tinkering and setting up when it comes to these drives, but I did a separate video on it. So let's combine this with the 24TB and let's see what we can do. Because now the Reapers are going to be bringing this to the next level. For the next part, we're going to be using the Daniel Spice arcade machine with the Retro shooter enabled. Yep, because the sensor are enabled, or actually implemented in the machine itself. They're actually hidden there. You can see them in the corners. But you're going to be having a lot of fun if you're going to be combining a PC with actually the Reaper itself. Because I was using the first generation of V1 Reapers, I'm having the hub. Don't pay me on this, but I thought the version 2 don't really need the hub anymore. But I'm still going to be using them. And with the new generation of light guns, we actually have different options for connectivity, particularly when it comes to the light gun itself. Super convenient, so I can just plug this thing into my hub itself. So if you're going to be looking at the old cable, that didn't have that option at all. Nevertheless, let's plug it in and let's have some fun. So let's do a quick overview of the software. What can we actually expect having like the 24 terabyte? Like there are different versions. You have the 2, 4 terabyte 2. There's a lot of light guns, and I can tell you if you just want to play light guns, it's more than enough. But we're going to be having all kinds of classic games, and with a 24 terabyte, we're going to be having a lot of cool things like Xbox. We're having the Wii light gun situation. There's even like an emulation VR situation. Techno Parrot is one of my favorite ones to actually play because this utilizes the most coolest game, and communication are perfectly done with the Reapers, so having like the most coolest situations. But I will show you later on in this video what I mean. There are a lot of different cool things we can do with the mini PC. So I have like a smaller one that has like a built-in, I think it's like an RTX 3050, but the other one, like the one I'm using now, is actually having an RTX 3060 Ti. So you're going to be needing a little bit of a beefy PC to actually run most of the things, but again, if you have like a 2 or 4 terabyte, you can actually maybe say like, hey, I'm getting a less powerful PC, maybe mini PC, skip the Techno Parrot, and you can just play a lot of cool things. But again, like this is one of those many ways to play. We have some weird stuff like MS-DOS games, but also the very cool ones like the Sega Genesis. But again, I want to deep dive in a couple of games and see how it actually works, but also how it actually works when it comes to playing with the Reapers itself. So it's also very convenient. You can just mess around with the menu, actually just using the light gun. But nevertheless, getting into light gun, the 2-player mode, you can actually see if you have like 2-player configuration, you can actually do that. And I think there's even one for 4-player configuration. It can't get more wicked than that. Starting off with 0 Point, and I can tell you this is one of the more like simple games that you can just play. I think they are like a lot of fun. It brings me back to the old school PlayStation 1 era of Point Blank, but it's like another game, and these games are freaking difficult to play. But the accuracy of the light gun is great. Oof, that one at the back is very difficult. And the recoil of these things are so amazing, giving this game such an overall better experience than the old light guns we had with just rumble or nothing at all. Let's see if I did actually complete it. 38 targets. This game is freaking brutal. Zombie Raid. That is a game I've never seen before, but it's actually from the same kind of engine, so graphical wise it's the same situation, but these games are absolutely the most fun. I must say then, when it comes to these kind of, let's say, games, it does remind me of the original one. Of course this is different than, let's say, the other games that we have tried of the original box. The recoil is absolutely perfectly like calibrated. So this is absolutely a game that you should normally play with a shotgun. Retor shooter, release a shotgun version, that would be freaking cool. Whoa, okay. Pump up. So moving into the Alien 3 game. So what is kind of interesting that some of the games even have the extreme over-the-top recoil. Depends what kind of emulator you're going to be playing. But I think that is one of the features of the Reaper I just love about it. But for now, you can just see now we're going to be automatically having rapid, even despite this button is set to the forward like single shot. Oh, that's so satisfying. This is so satisfying. Let's see if I have some other moves. Okay, so the super move is actually at the right button. You can even hear there is like some different, like say, levels of recoil. Sometimes it slows down a little bit. Now it goes a little bit faster. And that is not a defect, this is just a communication between the emulator and the overall game. Let's charge. There we go. Oh, low power. Ah, freaking face huggers everywhere. Carnival King, let's see.
Choose your your destination. Arcadia, world of enchantment. Shoot to select.
Knock him over. Let's go.
Shoot the sets of cats. The game is afoot. Full trigger to start. Round
Okay.
one.
Oh, I need to get used to the
Single shot bonus. Hit the clock. Don't forget the clock. We're running out of time. It has begun. Time's run out.
Virtual Cop 3 on the Xbox Classic. What is kind of cool, so if you're getting into the menu, you don't have recall. I think it's going to be activated when getting into the game itself, and you will notice there is nothing going on. Recall is disabled. Let's see if we can get some recall going on. It even stays in this particular position, what you can see over here. If we're going to be reloading. And I'm dead, of course, because I didn't reload. Let's use the reload button. I'm going to be using the one at the side over here. I think I can also use it outside screen with some games.
Don't shoot.
All right, yeah. Heavy Weapon. This is a game I played on the PlayStation 3 for the first time. From PepCap, the guys from Plants vs. Zombies. Continue. Let's see what's going on. It's a different way to play. So we don't have like our basic shooters. This is just actually a modified game. Now I'm using like a cursor, so it's kind of funny. I think I can even use the trackball if I'm configuring it too. But again, let's go with the light gun. Do have actually a cursor over here. Let's go. So yeah, it's a completely different way to play. It's not, let's say, super convenient. Let's see if I can use the joystick or some kind. Yeah. So where we do have all kinds of wicked things to play. Oh, I need to use the mouse like that. Oh, no, avoid bombs. Oh, there we go. You can just hold the button. That's another way. But it is something I personally don't like at all. Mad Bullets, a game. This is actually the first time I'm going to be playing it together with you. And I can tell you that this sounds and looks really cool. All right. I can use the side button again. I love it that everything works perfectly. But this is one of those games, I think I played on the arcades, only this is a different version with some really cool music. Okay. So you can find some really cool hidden gems here. And I think I already died. Missile Command Recharge is one of those modified games, or actually, I'm guessing it's not really modified. It's normally played on PC with a mouse, but now you can use it just an overall light gun configuration. So yeah, it's a different way, you know, it's modified games that are actually a lot of fun. Yeah, this is absolutely a lot of fun. Oh, that was a nasty one. Now it's getting more difficult. So yeah, this is absolutely, this kind of games they should absolutely release on the Retro box itself. It's simple, but this is going to be really challenging. No! No, they're getting more of them! Mega shot. What? Nice. So we actually do have the original Point Blank games. I think this is super cool to actually have the overall better improved version, the remastered. Let's see, do I actually see a couple of... Yeah, there's some similar games. I love the music. Like, Point Blank is absolutely one of my favorite games to play. If they can make a mimic kind of a game of the original retro shooter, that would be cool. There we go. Need to have the dog. There we go. Elephant. Whee! Beep, 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 beep. Yep, there we go. There we go. Kak! No! I messed that one up. Yeah. Boom, boom. But let's just get into the most cool things that we can do with Techno Parrot and some Terminator. This is absolutely my #1 game to play. And the overall communication had been done by Chris Commod. Combination with, like I said, the retro shooter and the recall is absolutely freaking cool. I mean, I'm going to be destroying them all. However, if you're going to be looking into, let's say, what you can do, you know, the communication when you're going to be grabbing a shotgun, minigame, or a machine gun, or actually your normal machine gun, the recoil will be different. And the overall experience is absolutely a lot of fun. Well, let's go. Judgment Day, baby! It's like the same satisfying situation. Like reload. Let's reload it. There we go. And this is actually the most satisfying game you can just play also with like the Reaper itself. Techno Parrot is absolutely awesome. But let's click on the shotgun. So you're going to be having a different recoil going on. It's pretty cool. You cannot you can actually like reload. This is like a one-time thing. So, but later on we're also going to be getting actually a minigun, and that is even more satisfying. The recoil goes nuts with that. Let's use all the shotgun bullets, but man, this game is quite difficult. So let's get into part with a minigun, and there we go. And this is like the most satisfying part of the game. There we go. Yeah. Oh, come on. I can do this all day. I've played this part like maybe a gazillion times. I just love it. Hasta la vista, baby. Grenade time. No grenades? Ah, that's a bummer. But also the recoil of the Transformer game is completely different. This game is freaking loud. But also, it's a real shooter, but really satisfying. Let's try another Alien game, the Alien Extermination. So this particular game is actually just like through Techno Parrot, so it's a different emulator what I understand of. But also the differences, of course, with the original guns I actually made a video about back in the day, is that you had actually like the counter at the back. We don't have that here. The only thing I did notice, like we don't have the recoil. So I'm guessing it's maybe due of the switching between the games, or it's like communication situation because I'm using the Reapers. I can recalibrate them if you want to, but again, I'm not going to be putting a hassle in. But I should actually ask, like say, our friend Chris Coolmod to see what is going on. Can be just a simple update be actually like fixing the issue, because it's completely disabled. Burn, baby, burn! Heat for my flamethrower! Yeah! So this is the most wicked way to play. So we have like this tiny screen in the middle because of the simple reason this game is completely different than the arcades. Graphical wise, this is pretty cool, the elevator action game, but so what you actually see, like normally this is going to be in something completely different configuration, because you're having like a massive screen that is, I think that's like an upright display. Do I say this correctly? But I just wanted to see what's going on. Oh.
The floor you're heading for is your primary objective.
Okay.
Retrieve the classified documents and make your way to the rooftop at the
Oh, okay. I'm already done with it. Let's skip this.
I think it's only
So it took like freaking forever. There was no recoil with this too, but I'm guessing this has to do with a simple reason. There is something going on when it comes to the switching between different games. Doesn't even matter, you know, because I don't really even like this overall gameplay with such a small screen at all. Oh, the recoil. It's the Judgment Day, baby. But also slows down when you're going to be having less plasma energy. And I can tell you the recoil itself is really satisfying. I'm just going to be holding the light gun with freaking 2 hands. Oh, there are the rockets. Still have enough energy, there we go. That's so cool. But let's move into the Terminator arcade game, and this time we're going to be having the light gun communication done by the MLA and everything. Everything works perfectly, by the way. I must say that when it comes to that city gameplay, it's not that bad, to be honest, but of course nothing be compared with the original arcade game. I think you can play this for just some fun overall nostalgia reasons. But beside that, nah, absolutely give me the original arcade version. And of course the real arcade Time Crisis. So the only button actually works with the movement over here, but it also gives a rumble, so there's a little bit of an annoying situation. But it works absolutely perfect beside that. The Retor shooters are absolutely an amazing piece of equipment, and I really enjoyed myself now ready with the first one and with the version 2. Oh yeah, many improvements have been implemented. But you're going to be needing a Retro Beast for actually completing the kit and just having the most fun out of it. Because if you're going to be having the right software, you can just build it yourself if you want to, of course. But you're going to be needing a combination with a PC to have some really cool things going on. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay too, and it would be great to see you in the next video.